Hello, everyone. Welcome to round 3 of the first game in the NEBVEMBER tournament. We've got Team Maintenance is a Birch versus the G-Smash Incomprehensible title here. I am NekoboyBlue, co-casting with Scape GT.
Hello.
All right. You wanted ANS coverage this time, right?
I can take ANS, yeah.
Right.
Team 1, Maintenance is a Birch. Love that Star has swapped their tag from Bitch to Birch to help us with the censoring a bit. Anyone, Maintenance is a Birch. We have Star, Pyrope, Potato Master, and Secret Mink here.
All right.
That's your cue.
Oh, yeah, I was just waiting. Give me a second. OSP, we got Dragonbender, Davened, Tasty Cookie, and Frillo Cat. I believe I'm saying that right. All right, you want to tell me what ANS is bringing to the table?
Yeah, initial deployments here. We have a battleship with an Axford plus CL pair. That is, yep, that's Pyrope. That's Summer Rose. Wait, is that the point defense CL? Is that the Summer Rose fleet? I don't remember.
Potentially the CL. We have seen that before. Weird stuff coming to tech.
We shall see. Yep, frigate up high. Low here, it looks like a really heavy aggressive push onto E from ANS here. That is going to be countered by, it looks like there is a liner on E to guard it from OSP. OSP also has a CLN here, the Abject Tear 100%.
Hey, give me some of these. I can't give you ANS side.
Hey, okay, fine. We're talking.
Anyways, Abject Tear 100%. That is dual Moorline I am seeing right now. Triple Moorline coming up to play in round 3.
Wait, is there a third? Where's the third?
The third one is towards the D side. All right.
Based on the names and the deployments next to each other, I think that's one person bringing 2.
I would guess such. Double Moorline is something we've seen before. I know Tasty Cookie is fond of containerage. This might be a tech from them. A couple of shuttles just kind of scattered around the board. ANS side looking fairly light, but do have a couple of Corvettes going to the points. Actually, let's do count here. 2 Corvettes low, 2 Corvettes high, 2 mid, so probably 6 Corvette fleet if you want to read those off. We'll do ANS first.
Those might actually be... Yeah, those might actually be 3 players playing 3 more lines, considering the lack of frontline I'm seeing from the OSP team. Only a singular liner.
Is there carrier limit? I don't believe we enforce carrier limit this game. There's a journeyman
That was last
limit.
tournament.
Yeah. Journeymans are required to be 1,001 due to some jankiness, but anyways.
Anyway, let's start with ANS.
What do you want?
Potato bringing the BB. This is the impact rated. It is Quad TC Spy, very nice, with a VLS-2 backpack. Escorting it is a frigate offset from the BB, double Sarissa frontline radar. Okay. Pyrope is bringing the Summer Rose Axford. It is a Greedford with a VLS 200 backpack. Escorting it is the Sarissa Voxel. Let's give it up for the Sarissa Voxel. Woo!
Yep. Potentially tech in this matchup here, given what OSP brought.
Here, but considering what OSP has, this might actually be tech. Yep, Secret Mink with a quad Beamstone camp fleet here. 1, 2, 3, 4 Beamstones here. 2 deployed at C, 1 low, pushing into E by the looks of it here. And then the other one guarding B. Rounding out their fleet. Are these all gun cappers, or do we have fakes? No, these are all gun cappers. No cringe cappers here. And then Star with the actual TF Birch this time, not the fake TF Birch with the Sprinter and the hybrids. This is the actual triple CL fleet, pushing E pretty aggressively with that Beamstone and the 2 gun cappers.
That's a lot going east side. OSP to contend them. We've got Frillo Cat here, has brought along a, looks like 250 liner in their cap fleet. Very good cleanup assets. T20 secondary batteries on that. Up top, they got an early warning tug, spotting a lot of these ANS capitals early on. They're going to spot that battleship. The Summer Rose Axford is not quite an arc of that, but might get picked up in a second or 2 here, depending on its angling. They have then got, looks like a rocket shuttle, another rocket shuttle, high and low. 3rd rocket shuttle, wide on the right side towards E. 4th rocket shuttle towards C side. Hang on a second. 5th rocket shuttle on the D point. 6th rocket shuttle. Okay, there is just 6 of them. 6th rocket shuttle covers the A point, and then T20 gun cappers, a pair of those goes on to E point, is going to be found out by this 3 voxel RPF best. Anyways, Davidid is coming in with a Moorline here. We're going to see a whole bunch of bombers in this thing, along with a good complement of fighters here, some skiffs as well. Looks like Dragonbender has brought along similar here. They've got a healthy complement of bombers as well.
You want me to save you some breath, Neko? Because these are all the same Moorline. You can
all right, it's a duplicate. There we go. All right, we'll cover one of them then. I knew there's one duplicate in the lobby. I just forgot which one it was. All right, looks like that would be, there was 10 bombers initially in one bank, and that'd be 16 bombers for 32 in total. That's a lot of strike with
Yep.
tons
All right,
of
so it's all R2 strike. It's
Yeah.
for absolutely dismantling the Cat Fleet and the Beamstone Goldies, which
Yep.
ANS has a lot of that are very, very scantily defended.
Yeah.
This
Lastly,
might be pretty
Tasty
big,
Cookie
although
comes in with their own more line here. This one, I want to say, is slightly different.
I'm not seeing any. No, they got the halberds up already, right?
Take a visual
Yeah,
check.
I think
these
it's about
are.
the same.
I want to
No,
say
it's
these are all the same. The whole matches, at least. So, all right, let's call it 3 copies of the same fleet. So, just oops, all Air Force is here. Yeah. Welcome to the Battle of Midway, round 2.
Yep. All right.
Cat is
place
positioned to step
here.
onto C point with a Ruddle. There's already Cheetah Flight from Davenid coming in here, just going to try and remove Secret Mink from the game. R2 strike is good.
ANS already pushing aggressively onto E right now, as Davenant pushes onto C here to try to remove a capper. Cheetah Squadron, in conjunction with Krulio's rocket shuttle here, engages. That squadron of fighters is going to ensure that the Beamstones don't poke out. Yep, they just dump rockets at close range into that gun capper. They're absolutely obliterated. Plenty of rockets left in their tank there. SDM-200's out from the Axford.
So, walking around this corner, these fighters are going to be in for a rough time.
Just going to get annihilated here. Sarissa Fire and the SDM-200. Yeah, Cheetah Squadron's just eviscerated.
Pyro somehow again with the unbelievable tech.
The Beamstones have an opening to deny C here. Meanwhile, ANS now steps onto E under the cover of the CLs here. The CLs now withdrawing. They have done their job, making sure Krulio's cappers on the point are pretty much wiped out here. Will Secret Mink be able to deny...
For a second there.
Oh, but Cobra Squadron from Dragonbender gets a flank on Secret Mink's Beamstone here. Knocks out the reactor right as it's about to pivot around the corner here.
Very common seeing these phishing routines gone through. Secret Mink taking a lot of Beam Destroyers due to the prevalence of the 2-kilometer ACT rocket boxes and also just Light Strike in this vein. The defenders being given away as they've not performed very consistently against rocket spam as we see here. And so they just decided to do without. Now Ruddle going to collect for free on this thing.
Oh, it dodges a lot of the missiles. The radar drive actually allows it to dodge a lot of those. The damage going into the reverse thrusters and pretty much nothing else there. If this ship turns off its radar, it might be able to power the beam. No, never mind. It's pretty screwed. That Ruddle still has plenty of rockets left, and that Beamstone is pushing in. Vampire Squadron pushes low, goes for one of these gun cappers here. One rocket hits, snipes the drive. Vampire now diverting to go for the Beamstone on C. Very, very aggressive plays from both teams really early on here, as ANS takes E and OSP takes C pretty much back-to-back. Vampire dropping the glide bombs on this this Beamstone with no point defense. Does a lot less damage than I would think, although it does take out the restore.
Worth noting, those were the FBU-15s, as I recall, not... wait, were they? No, the KBU-15s,
no, OSP
that's the
doesn't
ones.
have... OSP
yeah,
doesn't,
sorry,
oh, yeah,
I got the frag
the
bombs mixed up there.
Yeah, OSP doesn't have access to frag bombs right now. Anyway, Morris DM's out on Joker Squadron, which flanks over the top, hunting for that B point Beamstone there.
Breaking as hard as it can. Might dodge these, might not. See on the impacts in a second.
Oh, one hit, 2 hits. Ooh. Although it does step onto the point, it is damaged. The Ruddle pushes forward, not contesting the point, pushes right next to the BB in the Axford here. ANS might just clutch the retake of
ANS can
C,
go for it, yeah.
Vampire does still have some bombs left. Blackjack might have enough rockets to finish off the Beamstone. We will see if it will be enough here. Reflex flanking through the middle.
Clean up a little bit of Joker flight from Tasty there. So we see the initial rollout here from the OSP side. Their light fighters going out, looking to light strike, take out these destroyers and cappers wherever they can find, isolate the ANS, and then just proceed to torpedo the hell out of them. We see Anarchy Flight is alive in the kind of midfield near A and E point here. They are armed with a variety of torpedoes and some bombs to go with. Looks like 2 bombs per bomber here. So they're all set to
Squadron as well. Yep, you can see Shrapnel Squadron as well on the D side here, ready to push into these capitals. The BB is really close to this rock here, and Shrapnel has a really uncontested run-up to that BB.
SDM-2 is going to find some of Reflex flights.
Right now.
2-3 kills on that Sarissa as well.
Potato Master's out of SDM-200s, as Shrapnel Squadron, the actual bomber squadron, is now pushing low below this rock here. They are in perfect cover to strike this BB.
Yeah. All those SDM2s, very effective at seeing off bombers, have been used up on these fighters. Kind of a good tech there, as OSP brought, like, I want to say, like, 120 of these Barracudas that they're kind of happy to throw away at this point. As long as they can get their bombers through, they can pretty much remove ANS from this, as they have no real way of fighting back against these strike craft without
Shrapnel Squadron. Shrapnel Squadron is detected. It looks like Reflex is just trying to distract the BB right now. Shrapnel's just gonna, they're gonna push up and they're gonna round the corner right into the BB. They are detected. So Rizzes have already engaged, although that is 8 bombers at close range of this BB.
Very bad
Command
angle
Therm,
to be
Command
caught at.
Saw, Command Hodge, Command Wake. This BB needs to comms jam,
Sharps
self-illume.
out on target. Let's see if it works or not. Defenders are firing for all they are worth. This is a lot of torpedo, though.
Self-illume not out. No self-illume to help with the Saw, although that did a lot less damage than I thought it would.
Not as bad.
Okay.
Shrapnel Squadron gonna get
defenders
picked
are
apart
still
there.
firing. And Shrapnel Squadron's just gonna get annihilated here. Yeah, this BB's still relatively okay.
Battleship
Considering that
takes
there's
a good
no
hit
front
there,
line,
but lives, so...
Considering that there's no front line for ANS to really contest with, this is not really too terrible for ANS.
Nope.
As Shrapnel Squadron's just annihilated.
Looks like Carnage and Anarchy squadrons down low kind of broke off there. Looks like Carnage got their bomb
Secret
dropped.
Mink
Took
doing a
out
pretty
one of
interesting
the
tactic
campers.
here. Secret Mink actually pulls their beamstones into the point defense arcs of the front line of ANS, is able to preserve the A cap guard beamstone quite well. Crudeo pushes around the corner here with the 250 liner, likely trying to deny A a little bit too late, has now pushed directly into
Here's
the line
something
of sight
I've just
of,
noticed. Krullo, the Ruddle that thought it could has run into the middle of the ANS formation. 1 minute and 12 seconds onto that thing getting a dry
That's a reactor
bloom.
overload right next to all of ANS's front line. You can see here Pyrope is already starting to move back, likely sees the little crit effect that's going on right now. Maybe not, though.
No,
yeah, okay.
no
Pyrope,
visible crit effect on that right now. They just know that there's a dead Ruddle there, possibly giving ground, trying to buy more time to shoot down incoming, like, fighter craft.
Potato's
also
gonna...
giving ground here.
Potato's gonna get bloomed on here.
No, never mind. They'll fix that reactor in time. All right.
There's not a lot of... well, the thing is that even if this BB gets bloomed... Oh, I guess the R2 strikes would get through then, right?
Yeah, they'd be able to punch through and then start doing more damage. It already took quite a bit of damage. Some of those shots definitely hit structure hitbox here and there just due to the randomness of
Strike
delays,
out
so.
on one of Secret Mink's beamstones, low underneath C, guarding A, as Anarchy with the torpedoes just rushes directly towards it, but then turns around at the last moment, but now fires
Now
the
gets
torpedoes.
the point blank drop, and
misses?
what?
The torpedoes don't have the maneuverability, only one hits, but it is enough. The bomb follow-up will also get the kill here.
Bomb's gonna do the job.
huh.
Strange torps, but they got it in the end, so that's gonna be that. Heartbreak
There's
Squadron
the reactor
accompanying them.
bloom.
Yep.
Potato Master is just outside of range of the bloom.
Very
Pyro
close there.
just outside as well. The ANS's front line maintains its armor.
Yep.
Um,
ANS are now firing on what they think might be real ships here. They're seeing some line ship decoys falling for the bait of that. Which,
Julio sends
in a way,
bunch of
kinda makes
decoys
sense.
out by A. Heartbreak Squadron is... Heartbreak Squadron is Naganatas. They are SDM defensive. They jump and fire a bunch of SDM 200.
Potentially trying to
randomly
bait out
at
defenses. Kind of smart there. Since there's no fighter craft they have to go after, just might as well use it. Just a lot of the pad space in the ferries is going to be used for the bombers right now.
Yep. Pyrope gets the jump scare of her life.
Yeah,
seeing
just a
all
whole
of
bunch
those
of missiles
come
very
in.
quickly.
Just for them to do absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Very interesting situation right now as the carriers are unable to really get the cap advantage that I think that OSP was looking for right now, as the lack of frontline. Star is in OSP's backline.
Yep.
One
Lack
of the carriers
sensor
detected
assets.
on radar.
OSP
Will
going to
Star
suffer
pivot
for this.
To engage. Tasty Cookie is on track right now. Butcher Squadron out. These are a squadron of loitering torpedo bombers, probably just waiting to strike something. Star is completely undetected right now. Star is firing
a Killjoy here, potentially screening early. They've got jamming deployed here, trying to zone out this area. OSP side does not have a lot sensors-wise. They have got a early warning up top, and that is it. Nothing to detect these seals under the ground here.
I bet that was a Z Prio and meant to be an SDM 200. I bet, and Star
that makes sense. Yeah,
and that was and then Star just unfortunately because it's going after her Chaplain Squadron, that halberd. It looks like Star just misconfigured their SDM settings here. 250 now on to the carrier here. That is a lot of 250 HE into the belly of this Moorline here. Bomber
Hanger banks
Squadron Butcher
have taken
is
a
out,
nerf, so they are much squishier than the past. And a bulk mag on this, if that gets popped, this thing is
that a bulk
one
mag? That's a
team
bulk
having to
mag
work
on the
overtime.
bottom. That's a bulk mag on the bottom. Where the shots are coming from here, you can see Butcher Squadron immediately flank speeds directly towards the CLs. Gonna do their best to try and get these CLs off this carrier here. Butcher is spotted. Will Star swap to the RPF? No, Star is firing more Killjoys! As, yes, they have, unfortunately, oh, there's some Naginantas in there, too. As, yes, Star has most certainly, unfortunately, misconfigured their defensive missile settings, and unfortunately sends the,
RPF still going to convince these bombers otherwise. One of them going to get splashed
STM-200
there.
takes off, like, 3 bombers there. More Killjoys out. Although, you can see here, Grizzly, Knight, and Havoc Squadron from the other carriers are rushing in support of the carrier right now. Star has detected those on radar, has swapped back to...
Star
Killjoys almost hit.
kind of on borrowed time here. There's a lot of threat coming their way. They're giving it the best they can to try and put distance between them and this incoming
RPF
wave,
now out on Havoc Squadron as Star is desperately trying to fend off all of these craft at once. This is a ton of things for Star to deal with. Star swaps back to Butcher Squadron as it begins to return back. Pops another one. Butcher down to 4, although Havoc and Grizzly are still fully healthy right now and just flank speeding directly towards them.
Downside of doing the light raid cruiser action that we're seeing here is that you can find yourself very isolated.
The BB pushes across, using Star as a distraction to start getting covering fire into Tasty here.
Tasty going to take 450 HE. One damage control team is not going to help this ship, not with the fires starting on it. They're going to
Star is actually doing a pretty good job of burning through these craft as well. The fighter squadron completely gone. Grizzly now under 250 RPF fire here. Bombers are pretty tanky, although there is a lot of 250 RPF coming out. SDM 200 out. This one is targeting likely Butcher, which has just launched a strike. Torpedoes, CMD Hodge, comms jamming is on. The CL is moving.
Swing and a miss on a bunch of
those.
One
torpedo hit in the core, although that is not really going to be doing a whole lot here. Star builds their CLs really well. The core is non-important in terms of modules here. Grizzly is now pushing over here under 250 RPF fire as well from the CLs. Will it be enough? After decoys out and still in the area. Torpedoes fired there,
low on many of these
bombers. The
bombers. Trying their torp run. I think these torpedoes might be configured wrong.
Another miss as these torpedoes, with both of the seals they go for.
Bomb
kinetic
attempts
bombs
going
are
out, but dying for it at the same time.
Flat
just to that
firing.
RPF.
Oh, two
all of
of
ANS
the bombs
watching
are
this
going to
as
hit
well
one
as
of the
Star
CL.
just locks in and dodges all of those incoming
More torpedoes
bombs.
out. Yep, that was what, 3 times 8 bombers out on this triple CL fleet, and they are relatively intact right now as all squadrons dump their torpedoes. Grizzly empty, Menace empty, Havoc actually still has torpedoes.
Yep. The proven factor trying to get in the way, see if it can tank those hits here.
More torpedoes being fired. These are out on Mark the Time. Comms jammer still online as the CLs once again dodge.
Yep. CMD primary torps with low maneuver. Seems like it's not going to be enough.
All of the fighters and all of the bombers on OSP have tried to kill this triple CL fleet and failed, leaving the board completely open for ANS to just advance here. You see the battleship is already on top of Tasty Cookie here. Tasty Cookie is not recovering from this.
Battleship in turn looks like it must have gotten struck sort of recently, as it's got a healthy bit of damage on it. Same time, Tasty is not effective right now. Bulk Mag has been... It's back online, but at the same time, 2 hangar banks out, and one of them, I believe, is inoperative. That's just going to completely cripple this thing's ability to strike. No bombers currently being armed on it, so that's basically 3k down for the OSP.
A very risky strategy from OSP, bringing 3 ships that are unable to be at multiple points at once, leaving Krulo as the only one to cap, and they are severely bled on assets here. Without those cappers to take advantage of the openings that the carriers probably would have been able to open for ANS here, or for OSP, I don't think OSP can really, like, retake the points here.
Yeah, OSP relying on their strike to try and get them an advantage. They have bled a lot of Mink's fleet, as we showed earlier. They're down to just 1 gun vet kind of in the back, and then 2 beamstones, one of which was wounded earlier on. But for the moment, Star's cavalry push there into the OSP's backline, just deflecting all aggression thrown towards them.
Tasty is done as, you can see here, even Grizzly Squadron here is out of fuel. returning to carrier. Same with Malice. These are in full view of the CLs. 250 RPF still going into them, doing some damage. The CLs, honestly, just have nothing stopping them from pushing into the other carriers at this point. That was a lot of lost bombers.
The entire
the
OSP side is currently on cooldown as these bombers out of fuel take forever to get back. They cannot use hard burn to accelerate quicker. They will have to land and then do multiple deck cycles in order to bring themselves back up effectiveness-wise. Let's take a look at the munitions count as well. How many torps do they have left? Enough for, I think, another... Let's see, that would be...
that's another
torps?
run or two. Oh, Davenant is empty on torps. Davenant is fully empty on torpedoes.
Right,
And very low on piranha rockets. Davenant is in a really bad spot right now when it comes to munitions. Dragonbender's doing a bit better here. They still have plenty of munitions left, but they are also the closest to the CLs, which are now pushing around the corner here. If these CLs find Dragonbender, I think it's GG. B-point being secured by OSP. Well, never mind. Secret Mink, despite all of the stuff around, did a pretty good job of keeping that Beamstone online, although now Krulo has pushed through the open with a Ruddle and has found the Beamstone. The Beamstone's beam is still pointed towards the target on B.
Mink probably going to get found out here.
Mink?
I don't see any fire orders issued. I think they're looking elsewhere right now. Trying to micro
Krulo's just
going
to rush down this.
Yep,
there go the rockets. There go the rockets. Mink not maneuvering fast enough to dodge. Yep.
Strike right into the CIC of this thing that's going to gut it and its
CIC
restore.
down, reactor down, restore down. Yep. OSP is probably going to be able to take Boxer now, although ANS just steps onto Dagger with the Battleship. The Battleship doing a pretty good job of weathering those torpedo strikes. Splinter Squadron attempting an R2 strike on Pyrope. They're trying to strike the CL. Takes a couple of shots, not a whole lot of damage. Beam out from... Secret Mink is now beaming Duster Squadron here.
Mink needs to hit that B short if they're going to go for it. Just try and cook fighters at this stage. Get anything you can. There's another pick off. There's the B short. Duster flight as the beam gunners just walking this thing along. Duster on hard burn evade, trying their best.
Once again, the beam is one of the most... Sarissa's covering the Beamstone now as they are forced to push through open space within firing arc of Pyrope's point defense CL here. Pyrope, honestly, like...
Can we talk about the hard read of this?
Insane guess of OSP's strat with bringing this Sarissa device. Duster Squadron once again loses another ship. There goes another. 2 left. Is Duster going to withdraw or are they going to commit?
Duster, I think at this point, they've already committed. They know the Beamstone will kill them if they try and bleed back now. So they're just going to have to, I think, go for it. They might be able to go wide here.
Doing a good job. They're going to run out of fuel. 10 seconds on their fuel tank. 10 seconds on their fuel tank.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough. Sarissas will pick them off on the way back.
3, 2, 1. They get the fire order and they get a singular rocket out.
Rocket goes and
it
misses. And they're all down.
Wait, nope. Why was there an explosion effect if that... What? Okay. There was an explosion effect on the front of that keystone. That was very bizarre. Secret Mink is likely going to pivot that Beamstone to Boxer now and just remove that Ruddle. Removing that Ruddle leaves Krulo with only the liner, which is currently under heavy fire at A from Pyrope. Pyrope taking absolutely no damage in return. And that is a Greedford. That Greedford will be able to kill that liner if it
I know the
pushes up.
times you would say Greedford sacrifices some things with point defense in its fleet, but at the same time, you don't normally see a Greedford paired with a Sarissa device.
No, you don't. Rocket Squadron attempting, quite fittingly, a rocket strike on Star's CLs. Gets RPF down pretty quickly here. You can see 250 RPF when massed like this is absolutely like pretty powerful at dealing with craft, especially ones that are heading directly towards you to strike you. Like you can see how much damage Rocket has already taken here. A couple more lucky 250 rounds there, and yep, there goes the Rostov Rocket Squadron.
Just
as
talking
the 250
about that
RPF
as
at
well.
close range just eviscerates those craft.
The 250 CLs here, while they are wounded, they have forced the rotation of these OSP heavy Moorline assets. And like we saw just with the RPF damage, or even the shots they briefly got on Tasty, 250 RPF Voxels deal an insane amount of damage very quickly.
They do. Axford now pushing into A as OSP makes an attempt at the cap points here. They do put a sensor device on the C point there. Secret Mink's Beamstone busy at Boxer, unable to guard C.
8-point gunfight going on between Pyrope and Krollo over here. Krollo,
that is a fight between a perfectly healthy Greedford at close range. This liner is not winning.
No. 250 can bite a little bit, but not against this.
Assassin Squadron pushing over the top with torpedoes. Gonna try to get a strike attempt on that Axford here. We'll see how effective the Sarissa device is at pushing those back.
Sarissa's actually
Pyro
having a little
running
trouble
low
given the
on-
arc here. They're in the kind of dead zone above the Sarissa, limited on its elevation. They're trying to get
Beaver
up now.
Squadron
There they are.
from Dragonbender as well. Also pushing forward at the same time. This is a TOT strike from these bombers here. This might be enough.
Torps out on target. Jamming is active, but not good enough. Summer Rose takes it to the top.
Ow. Killjoy's out, but not enough as those commands still find their way home. As that Axford, I don't think... Remember when I said that Axford was
takes a hit or
win
two to the
against...
drive section, but largely survives the strike. Here come the bombs as well.
That was really big for OSP. The loss of that Axford is really rough for ANS. They are going to be unable to hold the center of the map now. Axford is repairable, however. There is still a liner on top of it, which means
one
that
impact onto the Axford there does have crits going on. Fuel line fire. Uh-oh. No. Okay. Let's take a look at this Axford, right? 4 crits. Fuel line fire.
They need to scram. They've got 6
scram
seconds.
a fuel line fire here, unfortunately. That's going to go off.
Actually, no, they can't. Yep.
Potential timer lying because of the mag detonation, but still, Pyro, from a suddenly, like, very one-sided fight, the swing, showing, like, when you have a strong base like these liners here, what you can get with these very effective fighter craft usages. But as we saw earlier, Pure Fighter is just, that's just not it, trying to mouth breather into a formation like that. They got shredded trying to chase down Star.
Devident detected flanking over towards C here, under fire from the BB. BB's getting some nice fire into the side of it. One of the hangar banks goes down. It should be worth that Davenant is the one who is out of strike at the moment. After that strike, they're definitely completely out here. So this Moore line is not really too much of a priority target for ANS, although it is still a ship that can take a point. The BB now pushing over the top.
Cinematic mode now, taking a look at this. We're going to see that fuel line fire go off from Pyro up there. Not structure broken, so this Axford does live, has 4 restores still, and 15 damage control teams.
This Axford survived a lot better than I thought it would, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Ooh, Secret Mink flanking low to E. Nothing there to stop that. You can see their capper, their fake bath flanking low. That's going to take the E point there. As Star, CLs, and the BB now push over the top here. OSP is in a pretty bad spot right now. The BB is still very, very healthy. The CLs are as well. Davenant's been completely bled on strike. Krulo's one-liner is pretty injured on A. As soon as Davenant gets into cover here, I'm assuming the BB is going to immediately swap fire to liner to A. Yep, there it goes. BB has swap fire over to A. Honestly, they might be able to save the Axford here.
It is worth noting on the scoreboard right now, OSP does currently hold a 4 cap. ANS making this now a 3, as they'll be taking B point without much contention. There is a Ruddle there, but it's got 1 rocket left. Actually, it's a fair ways away, going much further back than I thought.
Yeah, it's leaving.
ANS looking to take some caps here. E-point maneuver they've got going. A-point Pyro will be able to recover eventually and see off this liner here. This is like the one gun asset that OSP really has to collect from all these missile strikes, and it is taking a fight with a battleship.
Yep. 250 liner, already heavily damaged like that, is not going to be able to win against this BB here. You can already see how much damage the BB is doing. Pyrope returning fire! One of Pyrope's 120s is still miraculously functioning after that massive strike. On one of the
100 mil batteries on both sides exchanging rounds here. Hilarious.
Yeah, Pyrope's going to take A. B is retaken, and ANS will also retake E in a moment here. I do not see a way for OSP to really win this. The massive carriers did pretty good there. They tunnel visioned on the one fleet that they probably shouldn't have focused on, that being the CLs.
Yep.
Although that was also their own mistake. Their lack of frontline just allowed those CLs to pivot.
A little bit of the
backline anyway.
Over focus on one torpedo type there. It seemed like all of those were command type. Command is good, but even just a couple of packs in there.
Several backups. Well, it's command to mix, and you mix in different backup seekers so that a Killjoy can't completely soft kill it like it normally would CMD Hodge.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, some more active seekers like some ACT or some ARAD probably would have been pretty nice there.
ARAD is a really nice tech to include, since usually, like,
you can drop them within ARAD Val range. Yeah.
If you get that flash for 1 second on an active radar, you will be able to hold that lock. Proven Factor from Star takes 1 hit there to the midsection. Not much left on this, really. Still enough to get on the C point if it tries.
Although Davenant commits to the last of their strike are into the already damaged CL right as Star rounds the
Sarissa
corner.
CL unfortunately gets found by Jackal with rockets from behind. Couple bombs as well. That's going to remove this thing Sarissa's for the most part. Actually has a defender on the nose, which I had noticed. That's going to pick off a fighter that runs by thinking it's free. Right.
Star, yeah, this one has been a weird one here. Pyrope with the masterful, like, big brain move, completely just determining what our OSP would have brought there. Even though they do end up dying in the end, they did survive pretty long there. You can see here, now it looks like Krulo was going to send this liner over to Boxer, although the BB and the Axford, which is now recovered quite... This Axford's... Look at the Axford!
Axford didn't hear no bell.
No, look at this.
It
has... They're restoring the secondary batteries and the ammo elevators. This Axford is returning back to maximum.
Can we just talk about how much this ship has Lego bricked itself back together? Large lockers were knocked there. Has chain restored multiple different systems from... God. I'm trying to figure out where, actually. It was the midsection lockers that restored.
Pyrope's Axford magically manifesting like 10 restores out of nowhere. As this entire Axford is just put back together. This Axford is more DC teams than a lot of battleships.
It does. Oh my god. Like, legitimately. There's 4 large lockers and 2 reinforced on this thing.
And this is why when you do like missile or carrier play, you always have the ability to follow up strike with frontline. Because this Axford, without being able to get killed by a proper frontline fleet, just puts itself back together and is now like fully functional again.
Someone in the chat from the previous match was asking, what's the equivalent of the hero liner that we saw Pyro run on Blood Moon?
Oh, you're seeing it right here, folks. Star has positioned their CL on top of Dragonbender's Moorline here as the fighters trying to land on the decks just get torn apart. Davenant is out of strike. And
PD escorts a Star as they just picket ship everything here.
Yeah.
All the guns from ANS open up on this carrier. What does OSP have left, really? Davenant is...
Nothing.
Yeah, they're out of bombers,
is going to retake Dagger here as Star pivots their functional CL back to retake the point. This is the last functioning Ruddle from Krulo, which has a singular rocket left that is never getting through.
Take a look. I think that
and even if it does, it doesn't matter.
Tug has an arming missiles that will still technically keep them in the game.
R2 strike onto the Axford at A. This thing still has enough armor to survive that quite a lot.
It managed to survive with, guess what? 1 restore, meaning it can put together systems again if it wants to. No follow-up. Again,
oh my god.
Carrier strike and such being a force multiplier, but when your base number is just 1 250 liner, you're multiplying by 1.
I should also mention that Pyrope is not structure broken.
No, Pyrope just tanks this and says, all right, I didn't hear anything. Anyone got ibuprofen?
Looks like OSP's calling this as their mass carrier strategy is just unable to do enough damage to fully kill all of ANS's front line, as Star... takes like that was like 36 bombers attempted to strike Star at the same time, and they only took like 3-4 hits.
4 torpedoes, I'm gonna say at most, against 24 bombers, and I want to say there was at least 8 Barracudas accompanying that. Just the open laneway 8-kilometer gunfight.
It appears that Team Ghyghry is having a infighting. Dragonbender is like complaining about the torpedo tech that they were forced to bring.
3 copies of the same fleet, same tuning of the torps. Might need a little more time in the fleet editor with those ones, as they seem to behave a little weirdly.
They do. A very...
Wait, hang on.
Honestly, the torpedo miss...
Wait, does Pyrope have... Where's these modules?
Flight deck traversal... Wait, what?
They just have a random flight deck.
They do.
They had a backpack carrier at some point.
It doesn't matter anyway. It's not like... Pyrope's Axford is fine. Fine. It's legitimately fine. Like, this thing, it still has all of its secondary batteries, all of its drives, pretty much all of its internals. How? Genuinely how?
This is just a battleship condensed into a smaller hull.
Still have? It
Game
still has
over.
Like half of its buff modules left too. Star almost ran out of RPF.
All right. Well, that's been 3 ANS games. One here. Maintenance in a Birch takes it with a amazing game 3 of this series.
Birch sticking with the pretty conventional builds here. Didn't do them too good in the last one, but they just,
Yeah.
the no frontline and no sensors just allowed Star to just be in the OSP's backline. And when you have 9K worth of backline assets, that's not a good situation to be in. The
Nope.
Battleship and Axford doing absolutely insane work of just absorbing damage and not caring at all. No frontline
This
follow-up into
okay.
those capitals means that they're just able to repair themselves and just get right back to work.
Can we talk
Um,
briefly about that Axford? Looking at its stats here, damage received 15,000, and it looks like this.
Yep, this is an Axford moment. That Axford eats like a ton of torps from those carriers and is just able to. The thing that gets me is like all of this Axford secondary batteries were still functional at the end.
It had the
All of
restores.
them.
Sarissa damage we can also talk about there. That one Sarissa and the Defender just putting in massive amounts
Oh my
of
god,
work.
5K worth of damage. Jesus.
Sarissa Frigate as well did a little
the
bit
Sarissa
here.
Frigate out-damaged the 250 liner.
Say, what? Where is that thing on the board?
Yeah, the 250 liner did 4.9K. The Sarissa CL out-damaged the 250 liner.
It did.
That's Pyro playing advanced mind games with
The read
Ghyghry
of the
here,
century on
bringing
the comps here.
perfect counter to their team. Star doing absolutely a ton of work with the CLs as well.
Star's damage
Oh
numbers
my
do not tell the
gosh.
story here, just the amount
A lot of this
destruction.
damage was into fighters too. Like they tore through like that's like probably over half of OSP's craft complement
easily
they tore
calling it
through
that.
there.
Craft
Yeah, you
count
can see
on
how many
OSB side, like 16
Hasty lost
bombers,
all of their
44
bombers. Dragon
Barracuda.
Bender had 8 left, and Davenant had 5 left.
In terms of strike,
oh my
only one getting
gosh.
efficient stuff here is really Davenant with their Sturgeon strike. Dragon Bender is pulling 10k, but with a 3k backline asset, that's not that great for these. Similar story to
They did
Tasty.
10k with the R2s as well, but so did
Yeah.
Davenant.
R2 strike like this very good for removing those kind of cheapened assets. Like we see the beam destroyers on ANS from Mink. These are run super cheaply just with the chaff box and beam because again, Defender's a little temperamental and expensive as well, saving about 25 to 50 points per one. Lets them get a very wide cap leap, but just despite all of that, they still had an asset at the end able to do that back cap like we saw.
Right. Yeah, despite the losses of the Beamstones, like they were still able to have some battle impact there, able to deny a couple points. One of them even retook C after being crippled because the Ruddle just kept going forward despite having rockets left, and then was able to resecure B at the end there.
Star in
this
chat
was just
commenting about the ammo
ANS.
consumption. Yeah, run down to like 50 RPF rounds on the two still living.
How many did they start with?
500 to begin.
500 rounds, and they only almost expended all of them. Yep, 250 RPF does work against Craft when you bring him in these numbers.
As we saw, there's proper technique to approaching capitals. We saw one wing of bombers, just 8 of them rose over top of the ridgeline there, center of Yukon, went directly on the battleship and got some good impacts despite the countermeasures deployed. Just the rest of them trying to open field charge, not what you want to do.
Honestly, the point-blank torpedo miss against that Beamstone is the highlight of the match for me. Like, genuinely, what happened there?
So many different
You can see here in the
moments.
chat, as Team Ghyghry is absolutely flaming Tasty for building those torpedoes.
Yep.
Fascinating design from those torpedoes. Not very much unsure as how they missed, both against the CLs and that Beamstone there.
Yeah.
The Beamstone wasn't even jamming them.
That was just a strict case of strange launch behavior. I'd love to see the tuning on that torpedo.
I think what happened,
it's got weave or something weird.
I think what happened is the torpedoes launched sideways to avoid friendly firing the other bombers in the formation, and they just didn't have, because you can see there they launched kind of in a V pattern there.
Yeah, they
I think they launched like that. Yeah, just to avoid the friendly fire thing that can happen if you fire in too big of a squadron with missiles. And then they just didn't have the Gs to pull them back on course, and they just overshot.
Might have also just been
like one
the
of them
launch angle from like the craft being on evade or something.
I also was not looking if the bombers were maintaining lock because those were CMD torpedoes. It's possible that maybe they turned back too early.
All right.
It could have been any number of things, but yep, ready up. We're ready to go back up to the main call and discuss that. I am going to award points to ANS. If you gambled on ANS, you win big. As maintenance is a Birch. Wins 2-1, my bad. And they will be moving on in this tournament. Very
Where
nicely done from
is
Team Birch.
that? I just had that prediction thing open myself somewhere.
You need to get more used to gambling, Neko, is what I'm hearing here.
I see. My mistake.
It needs to be second nature for you.
I don't actually even know where it went on my Twitter side screen. Whoops.
It's really funny. Tethys, halfway through one of the matches after I started gambling, sent me the Some Ordinary Things video. Everything is gambling now. It's just like, is this you now? No, we're a real esport, which means we have to have gambling sponsors.
All right. Shall we see if the Neb General channel has anyone doing post game and listen to some glorious crash outs?
I do believe that they are doing post game. Let us hop right back.
All right. Anyways, chat just had to quickly turn on push to talk
to
now.
fire from that close. There is a minimum distance, and there's
It's like
it's
3.5.
pure like a clean environment. You just straight miss.
All right. Hello, Avignon. Wonderful
matches
3-game series there.
Hello.
First was normal. The other two were cooked.
Those were
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
matches.
Yeah, that was some of the matches of all time. But I had a lot of fun.
We'd like to
Thank God.
congratulate
Yeah,
you,
that was
Pyro, on
ridiculous.
the read of the century in that last game, bringing the Sarissa CL against triple line.
Did you know that? I left team chat. Did you know that they were going to bring that many CL?
No. So I was expecting a container liner, so I brought the Sarissa creature. But it wasn't a container liner. It was carriers. Lots and lots of carriers.
You still
saw the
totally
Sarissa
start with it, like.
Pyro was calling out
had...
DC as we were loading in. Oh my god, they probably brought 3 monitor balls because she counted the characters in the fleet names and 3 of them had the same name.
Yeah.
I had 48 STMs and I dropped a lot of them for my Sarissa box. I wish I brought 48. That would have been hilarious to watch.
Potato, you had a really unfortunate moment there where you dumped all of your SDM 200s right as that bomber squadron was approaching.
I know. I was like,
completely
oh
undetected.
no. I thought my balls would
I mean, like,
save
they
me.
They didn't even like do much damage to you at all. Like, I was actually surprised by how little that strike did.
It hurt like my superstructure and stuff. It didn't do anything crazy, but I'm surprised as many as they did because I did most soft kill measures. I just forgot my killjoy.
Killjoy wouldn't have helped you there. There were 4 different types of torpedoes there. It was CMD Wake, CMD Saw, CMD Hodge, and right? CMD something. Yeah, they were using
all 3
those
of the
torpedo
kill
tech.
It was all.
Yeah, it was all 3. It was all of them. Just to make sure that a Killjoy doesn't completely negate that. For that, you needed to do. You wanted to do comms jamming flares, self loom, and Killjoy would have countered that.
Also, I feel a little bad because
dumping all the Killjoys.
I'm assuming that was because Star probably had the Killjoys configured wrong for Z-Prio.
Oh, it was 100% configured wrong.
Anyways,
Also,
Pyro, you were saying?
It was kind of whatever.
Pyro, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, so like with my Oxford, I only survived the fuel line fire that I got from being hit by about 1 billion torpedoes because of my like front stack on the Oxford. That's like the Citadel CIC and 3 reinforced DC lockers. It's all on like the opposite side for my drives.
I saw that fuel line fire pop up. I was like, oh, please, we're not killing anything. But alas.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how
splitting damage?
Your Axford at the end of the game looked fine. Like
Yeah, so I like to call Summer Rose my pocket BP because she has 16 DC teams and 10 restores with like a Citadel CIC.
Goddamn.
What the based?
No, that thing, like, I think that one was a pretty big case of what no follow-up does to, like, missile and carrier strikes there. Like, both the BB and the Axford were able to just repair themselves, no problem.
Yeah, I drifted out of the way of all the bombs, so that was fortunate.
I'm scared to ask how expensive that Axford is.
1.8K, I think.
What was the question?
How expensive is that Axford?
Oh, it's 1,805 points.
What? I expected it to be like 2.2K.
Nah, it's
gotta fit the Sarissas.
Yeah, it's like a Greedford, but it's like a super tanky Greedford that has like the super reinforced front stack with like a Citadel and 2 reinforced DC lockers. It's also triple drive, Dragon Whip Raider, so I can get the nose on and go fast.
Yeah, that thing was schmoovin'. Also, I must say that the flight deck traversal system is tech.
I forgot I had it in there. I used to have a plain backpack. Yeah, I used to have a plain backpack on this thing, but you know, when you're brawling, escort tantos tend to get shot off real quick. So I pivoted to the VLS2 backpack, and I used to have the VLS2 on the Vauxhall, but I just put like another PDT there instead.
I saw that
more
wave of Sarissa's open
defender
up fire
coverage.
rope, and I recognized your support box. I called out, we gotta kill that thing. We gotta kill it. And then we did. So
You hit it,
Yeah,
but it just.
I went through all 650 rounds of Sandshot that game.
I
just trying
believe
to make sure that your
ammo
money's
count
worth
wise,
it.
Star had expended all but 50 RPF rounds, it was said.
Yep.
I went through all
I
my
had 50
RPF.
first ships.
Right.
If
Dramus
they
is
sent
your...
another wing at me, I would have died.
They didn't
know
have
how
another
the
wing,
hell
but
you
It was
Killjoys.
it was really funny to watch you completely dodge and then also chew through 36 bombers.
I was like
Yeah,
ready on that, like immediately move away because like I knew the bombers are gonna go after me, so I was ready to stop and just full reverse.
Yeah, we were all like, shoot your RPF, get the soft kill going, drop all your chaff, just blow everything.
we were all screaming.
You should have seen the tactical view there. Every single craft that OSB had immediate like
Yeah, they all
diverted
turned
to
I
to
those
saw
seals.
on
Yeah.
centers, and I saw all of the craft moving towards, you know, like C and stuff, and then I saw all of them turn and start going towards Star, and I was like, oh no.
Star only lost half of a CL for that.
The 3
insane.
groups of 8 bombers going for the CLs were incredibly entertaining.
4 fucking bombs.
Basically, none of the torps hit.
I poked the hive.
I think our
poked
total
the
count
hive.
at the end was 3, maybe 4 impacts on torpedoes.
Yeah, can we talk about those torpedo
those torps
tunings?
were
Like, what was
terrible.
going on there?
So they had
So-
they have a max
Beam.
range of 2.5
Yeah.
and a hit
Why?
rate of like
Why?
0.1.
So
Why? Why? Why are you bringing them then?
This
So-
was a fleet that
Skip
was
by the
given to us
shipyard.
right before the
This-
game started.
Yep. this one was my
Someone
fleet.
sabotaged
this
you.
is-
What?
This I kid you not, I've been playing this for a couple of days, like trying to tune it. I literally, the last game I played with this, I think I messed with the torpedoes because they were firing, I think it wasn't like enough Gs to get past defenders, and I didn't test them afterwards, which meant that they weren't actually hitting, like they were literally the games that I'd been using, like, was really bad. Really
Tasty.
bad.
Tasty, are you telling me? Are you telling me? You made us bring
GG's.
I
carriers.
believe this is an admission
GG.
of running 3 carriers with untested torpedoes.
This just in.
Yep,
Tasty
was.
found dead in a ditch behind Caltrops.
Tasty. When I find you, Tasty. When I find you.
Yep, and I honestly do deserve all of that. That was
Hey, it
really
was a
bad.
2-1 and not a 2-0, so you still have a chance to go on and beat someone else.
Yeah,
The highlight
and-
of
If the person is
uh,
tasty, I'm on board.
Yeah, also, you guys almost won. Like, it was a close series.
Yeah. Mink-
The
Mink got a
highlight
lot
of
on caps there.
that last one is when the torpedoes completely missed that beamstone at close range. That was beautiful.
Oh, I was so sad. I was like, oh my god, wait. And then the next time it happened on the voxels, then I started turning
I
towards
saw it.
DC.
I saw it. I'm just like, huh?
I
I
will
was like,
say,
oh
like
my
the
god,
one,
no way they have short range torps with a low
one-
G.
the one that hit on the beamstone though, like despite missing the majority of the strike, you did gray out like the drive and the reactor of that beamstone and only had 1 restore, so you did like kill it. The bomb follow up too,
Yeah.
also, yeah, but it was very fascinating to watch. We got a really good view of them just going completely around the destroyer.
This happens when you use a fleet you've never used before and was like, wait a second, these have no maneuver. And the second time, though, on the Voxes, I mean, I was releasing from the max range of the Torps, and they were still missing. So I was
I think the
a
torpedoes
little
is configured
confused.
to short range for low maneuver type.
It's kind of like watching The Matrix, except the bullets dodge the person.
Yeah, Did you all have big warhead on those or something?
They are size 6, apparently.
Oh.
Interesting.
That would explain why one of them
Yeah,
mission
right.
killed that beamstone.
That would explain a lot of things.
Well, I mean, one of the torpedo hits, the first one that hit you just completely removed the center stack of that first CL, so.
Consider warhead 4.
It's probably a good thing I never put anything important in that center stack.
I even called that out in the casting. I'm like, oh, Star takes a hit to the center stack. Unfortunately for OSP, that means absolutely nothing.
You lose like
No, I
50
lost my
DC.
thruster. I lost the DC locker that I used to restore thruster 17 with. So you could say that
Try,
kills
yes.
thruster 17.
That was the end,
extra
yeah.
life.
That was the
So
end.
sad.
That was it, yep.
How did you have SDMs at the end there? I went in with my second to last flight of bombers, like in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Oh, I forgot to
and the
launch
steals
them.
popped out more SDMs. I was like, what the fuck?
I forgot to launch them.
That explains.
You
it.
were
I thought I
on
shot
the
all of them.
It's-
I thought I shot all of them.
It's
No, I
the
actually
It was like this
see
man has
game over.
nerves of steel. He saw this massive flight coming at him, doesn't launch any of them, and then he's like, later on, I'll swat this one.
I will
I
say,
mean, the RPF did take care of that first initial strike quite well.
Yeah, it was actually kind of wild because we had such a long approach and you were backing up so fast. You got a crazy
Yeah.
amount of kills. Yeah, even
It's
with the
why I
max range
love-
short release.
That's why I loved CLs so much when it comes to anti-craft, is that if you back up, you basically have the incoming speed of the bombers. Especially
Yeah,
if they
it's
don't have
great.
too much. And then if they don't have enough fuel, they it's more than having it. It's like thirding it or something if they have the cruise.
I will
do you
say-
take out enough
When you have
points to
guns.
fit SDMs and a CL fleet? I'm confused.
Oh, that's an excellent
You're
question.
talking
I'm
to
curious
Star.
about that myself now.
you're talking to Star.
Yeah,
How
I have
did
a
I do
very
this?
similar build to CLs as Star does, but I don't have like 100 spare points lying around.
Well, you
auto-
probably are
impromptu
building a
char-
midsection to them then.
I don't have a midsection. I have a rapid and a DCC. That is my midsection.
I mean, I have 6 Nagis, 4 Killjoys, and 4 Conyers.
That's not too crazy. That's pretty reasonable.
That's affordable.